And we have the honor tonight of having the first speech from Sherry Berger, but we will talk about that in a minute. I'm getting ahead of myself because Austin is the Toastmaster. I'm just so excited about hearing from Sherry that I had to talk about it. Let's go through any business that we have in case we need to get this done. People might hurry off. We decided during our officers meeting that we are going to have training first, both meetings in May, the 12th and the 26th. We will meet at 6:15. We will need people to bring their computers because we're going to have education where Andre and Barb will be talking about how to work the new system of base camp and education, which was rolled out in October. It is a little bit different than the last one, and it is easier. And there are new tools out there, so you can track your progress a lot easier. Andre's been telling me all about it, and we learned about it because we talked to Toastmasters International, and they were saying that there were new tools, and Andre said, "You tell me about that." So you don't know what you might learn if you call them up. I felt kind of silly at first calling them up to find out information, but you never know what you're going to learn when you call up with one question and you talk for 15 minutes and you've learned 3 things. What we did was very important and very educational for both Andre and myself. So I want everyone to know that calling TI is not a big deal. You can do it. And they talk to anyone that calls and answer a question and don't make you feel silly. So that's good. I would like to turn this meeting over to Austin, who is our Toastmaster. Austin, take it away.
All right. I have 2 pieces of business, actually.
You do?
I do.
Okay.
But it ties into my role. So first one, I come bearing gifts. We've got folders finally as the timer. So we've got. Hey guys. Screens first tonight too. Okay, perfect. This will be supplemental, but I wanted to have them. Got green, yellow, and red to correspond. So hopefully this will help everyone, and that's nice to see you.
Yay.
The next item, David, it's been a minute since I've been to a meeting in person, but I wanted to give you this and let kind of the entire meeting audience know this medal is for you for completing a level from the last Toastmaster year.
Yay.
Okay, you're welcome. On to the fun stuff. The theme tonight is allergies. Does anyone else have seasonal allergies? Please raise your hand. Okay. Well, for myself, I am severely allergic to grass, and the 2 things that I do outside are mow the lawn and golf. So that's a great time. It's estimated that 25 to 30% of adults and 15 to 20% of children have seasonal allergies. Some studies estimate that over 80 million people are affected with seasonal allergies. Throughout the meeting, I'll share some more facts about that, but I thought that was really interesting. To kick us off, I'm going to introduce the roles for this evening, starting with the timer. Jacob, would you like to tell us what you'll be doing as the timer first?
Good evening. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. This evening, our green is right here. Our yellow is right here. And our red will be displayed right here. And I will be to my right, and we'll have signage for that. Those online, if you're unable to see, please let me know so that I can be able to adjust for you. Thank you.
Perfect.
My speech is 5 to 7.
Okay, thank you.
When we do table topics, they're 1 to
1 to 2.
yeah.
Perfect.
And evaluations are 2 to 3.
Thank you, Jacob. Next, we have the word master, which is David. David, what is our word for this week?
You, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As word master, it's my responsibility to make sure that you pay close attention to all the speakers, listen carefully to their incorporation of the word of the day. And the word of the day is reminisce, which means to talk, think, or write about things that happened in the past. For example, after the official reunion dinner, the old friends gathered in a pub to reminisce about their high school days, now long past. Good example of the word of the day, reminisce. Oh, well, I think that probably takes. It's a noun. So it's there's other pieces of it for that, like nostalgia, reminiscence, and reminiscent, all of which are in the same band. Anyhow, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, David. Next, we have the grammarian. Jacob, would you mind explaining what you'll be doing as a grammarian for this?
You'll be looking.
Thank you. Mr. Toastmaster, this evening I will be filling as a grammarian, which by doing that, I will be tracking the fine words that we use creatively to go along with reminisce, and also ones that are out of context. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Jacob. Next, we have the awe counter, which is Sherry. Sherry, what are you going to be doing as the awe counter?
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. First of all, I'm going to ask everybody to greet Mr. Toastmaster and fellow Toastmasters and guests. That's what we're going to be asking. And the purpose of the awe counter is to note the words that people are using incorrectly for crutches. It is better to pause than it is to use those filler words of ah, well, so, like's one of my favorite, but repeating words or some other words like we can use ands or things like those. So I will be looking for those fun filler words and also looking for people to make sure they're addressing Madam Toastmaster, Madam Mr. Evaluator, and those type.
Perfect. Thank you, Sherry. David, I apologize. I see you as the quiz master. I could have also had you explain that role while you were up here. But David, what are you going to be doing as the quiz master? What is he?
We didn't know he was.
No. Mary Susan, are you?
Hi. Can I join you guys?
Please come join us. This is Toastmasters. Is that where you want?
I didn't know I was.
You're not.
Oh, okay. No, Mary Susan.
Mary Susan, your quiz master. Mary Susan.
You got a quiz on Quizmaster.
Okay. Mary Susan, what are you going to be doing as a quiz master?
I didn't know we were all coming to.
As the quiz master, I will be asking questions about things that have said during the meeting to see how well you guys are paying attention during the meeting.
Perfect. Thank you, Mary Susan.
We have two.
We have two guests we need to introduce before we actually get started on the speaking part of our member. of our
Yes.
meeting.
Let's introduce the last role. Andre, as the
sorry.
table topics master, what are you going to be doing this evening for the club?
Yes, Mr. Toastmaster, we're going to be having impromptu responses. You've got the prepared speech portion of the meeting. We'll be doing impromptu responses. Impromptu responses are those things that'll help you out with your interviews. It'll help you out with, if you do presentation, kind of the question and answer sessions. And one of the things that I think is very useful is it would help you out with your speech. If you're speeding or run a stop sign and the police comes up to you and you just go into your table topics mode. And so all of those again are impromptu responses and everyone is eligible to participate, even our guests if they would like to. And so back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Andre. And finally, the general evaluator, Barb.
Well, thank you, Toastmaster Austin. General evaluator. The only way we learn by growing and improving is through evaluation and feedback. So the evaluator, general evaluator, evaluates all parts of the meeting that does not have a specific evaluation. So I will not evaluate any speeches, but I get to evaluate the evaluators. I also look after the reports and will call upon them when it's the evaluation time. Back to you, Austin.
Thank you, Barb. And before we get into the speakers for this evening, we have two in-person guests. We have Gary, is that correct?
Yes.
Gary, would you like to say anything to the club?
Sherry made me come.
Okay. Very nice. Well,
Gary.
My name's Gary Mahalik. I own a walk-in bathtub company.
okay. Very nice. Thank you. Nice to see you again, Gary. And what is your name, sir?
Mitchell.
Mitchell. Okay. Would you like to say anything to the club?
Thanks for having me.
Okay, perfect. Nice to meet you, Mitchell. Thanks for being here. And then we also have Aiden online. Aiden, would you like to say anything this evening?
Yeah, absolutely. Glad to be here. My name's Aiden. I'll be observing tonight. I look forward to getting to hear you all speak.
Perfect. Well, thank you all for being here. Thank you, Aiden. For the first speaker this evening, we had Mark scheduled, but he is not here. So we're going to start with Sherry Berger. Sherry has a 5 to 7 minute speech. And Susie, you are going to be doing the evaluation. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and honored guests. It is my pleasure to introduce tonight's speaker, Sherry Berger. Sherry is the founder of Here to There Consulting, where she serves as a speaker, trainer, and transformation coach. Through her work, she helps individuals and organizations turn chaos into clarity and growth. Sherry has been a valued member of Toastmasters since 2006. She initially joined to overcome her fear of public speaking, but has stayed for the leadership opportunities, mentorship, and lasting connections. Over the years, Sherry's dedication and passion have earned her the highest distinction in Toastmasters, Distinguished Toastmaster designation. Tonight, Sherry is presenting from level 3 of the Presentation Mastery Pathway with a speech titled Understanding Stress. It's Not Always What You Think. In her 5 to 7 minute presentation, she will challenge common misconceptions about stress and offer insights on how to understand better and to manage it. Please join me in welcoming Sherry Berger.
Fellow Toastmasters and guests. Stress. Anybody here have stress? On Saturday, I got a phone call from a fellow Toastmaster who's known me for a while. And they told me that I was speaking tonight because we had no speakers. And To be honest, that request added to my current stressors that are going on in my life right now. I'm having financial stress. I don't know if you guys heard, the market's a little hard with trying to look for a job on top of running a business. I'm in a new relationship that causes stress. I have a new roommate that too causes stress. I have a great new relationship. I have a great new roommate, but those are still stressors. And I'm helping a friend move. Oh my gosh, I don't like moving, and it's no fun helping a friend move. And I'm feeling out of control with no clear end in sight right now. And of course, the last minute speech, AKA speech stress. But I was voluntold to speak tonight. And if you've been at Toastmasters more than 2 minutes, you will find out what voluntold is. How I ended up with my DTM is I was voluntold to be area director, voluntold to be division director. I don't even know. But some of these might be considered good stresses, like a new relationship. Well, others may be, seen as bad stresses. But no matter how, they are stresses. However we label them, they're stresses. But then I realized this is a perfect moment for me to pause, reflect, and share what I've been learning through all of these stressors that are going on in my life and how they've been affecting me. And why even good things can feel overwhelming. So let's dive in. Stress is your body's natural response to pressure. It can come from a single big event, like losing a job or going through a breakup or a divorce, or build over with minor little things happening, like traffic, missing deadlines at work. Have you guys ever done that? Or an overflow to-do list. And sometimes we know exactly what stresses us out. And other times it's more subtle, like an emotional slow leak. Building over time until we feel so overwhelmed and exhausted. Have you guys ever been so stressed that you're tired? Next slide. Here are some of the most common stresses many of us fear. First of all, the fear of public speaking. Did you know that that's a stress? Unless you're like me, I think it's fun. But I didn't think it was a stress. If you heard, I used to be scared of public speaking. But marriage, starting a new relationship, divorce, and moving are big stressors. Starting a new job, having a baby, or retirement are stressors. And there's health issues that can cause that, also stresses. Chronic illness or having an injury or loss of a loved one. Financial struggles like debt, job insecurity, unexpected bills, relationship challenges, conflict with family, coworkers, or a partner or friend. Those are all stressors. And daily pressures, long commutes, never-ending chores, and no time for self-care. Trauma events, natural disasters can cause stress, accidents, or some kind of violence. And don't forget feeling out of control, being overwhelmed by responsibilities, experience discrimination or lack of support. Those all can cause stress for us. Even those good stuff can be stressful. You were saying you're planning a wedding. That can be pretty stressful. They keep moving when the date is, and she's not even the bride, but it's causing stress as the mother of the bride. Getting married, starting a new relationship, having a baby. I think you heard, I just had my first granddaughter. My second oldest son is a first-time dad. He's been a dad for about 10 days. He's finding out it can be stressful. Buying a home, starting your dream job can be stressful. These life changes are exciting, but still come with new responsibilities, expectations, and adjustments. When making these kinds of stress tricky is that we feel like we should be happy. So we hide the fact that we're having a little bit of anxiety or feeling a little bit overwhelmed or stressed out. Because you just got your dream job. You just got in a great new relationship. You just got married. You just bought a house. Shouldn't you be happy? But that causes stress. Are we on slide 5? When stress becomes overwhelmed. So when does stress turn into overwhelm? When we feel like we're losing control. When we're juggling too many things at once. When there's no time to rest or reset. Or when we're dealing with it all alone. Those all cause us to become overwhelmed. In those moments, it can be difficult to think clearly, make good decisions, or even get a decent night rest. That's when we need a plan to shift gears. Coping strategies, one step at a time. Here's a simple mindset I've been working with. One task, one thought a day. When I get overwhelmed and my thoughts are just going crazy, I like to sit down and journal and think about my thoughts. Are they helping me or are they hurting me? Do you maybe need to rephrase them from being, I'm so stressed out, to, I'm overwhelmed, but if I do it this way and take it one bite at a time, I won't be as overwhelmed. One task at a time. Don't try to do everything, break things down. I love to-do lists. I don't know about you. Have you ever not did a to-do list though? And if you go write out your to-do list for the day and you check it off anyway, you at least feel like you accomplished it. But you know what we do with to-do lists? We make them too long. We need to keep them to like 3 to 5 items for priority for that time. And like I said, one thought a day, doing journaling helps me with figuring out, what am I thinking? What am I freaking out about? So don't let tomorrow, what if, steal today's peace. My schedule has changed a lot lately. And I realize how much I miss getting up early and having that time for my morning routine. That alone time is important to me and helps me with my stress. So I'm going to make it a priority again, because some of my self-care is to make sure that I have those morning affirmations, make sure I do my prayer and Bible study, and get outside and go for a walk every day. I love doing that. Those are the ways I eliminate stress. But I've noticed I've been so busy that I forgot to stop and do some self-care. Is there times that you've been so busy that you forgot? That will cause more stress for you. In closing, here's what I hope you remember. Stress is a natural part of life, but it doesn't have to control your life. So whether you're facing these navigating these challenges, even if it's a joyful event, you need to stop and reflect and give yourself permission to feel how you're feeling. And take small, manageable steps. And don't expect yourself to be fine all the time. Do you know it's okay not to be okay for a minute? But it's not okay for you to stay there because you didn't stop and reflect and figure out, what do you need at that moment? And how can you eliminate some of that stress? Back to you, Madam Toastmaster. Miss. Thanks for the added stress.
I did my best.
Thank you so much, Sherry. Great speech. At this time, I would like to call for a timers report from Jacob. Jacob, what was the time? It's okay.
Very short. Mr. Toastmaster, we have the time report for Ms. Sherry. It came in at 9 minutes, 13 seconds, and 69 hundredths.
All right. Thank you.
Usually I speed.
We got to start Sherry on the in conclusion like Andre. Great job. Great job. Okay, we do not have another speaker for this evening, so we are going to get into table topics. Andre, would you like to kick us off with this portion, please?
You bet. You bet. Since we have a little bit more time, there may be an opportunity for everyone to answer a question, but I'll give my guests the opportunity to observe how this works before I call on you. Very easy to answer questions, and so let's get this party started. I am going to need a first person to answer my first question. Who would like to get us started?
Oh, I always I always volunteer.
All right,
Here I
thank you,
am.
Susan.
I can't stand silence.
Okay, Mary Susan, I have a good one for you.
It's Susie, not
It's
Mary
not
Susan.
Mary Susan.
I'm so sorry, you guys. I get you mixed up all the time.
Because they look so much alike. And they act
Okay.
alike.
Susie,
Yes.
this is your question, and for those who are new, especially, I ask the question. You want to answer the question in no less than a minute. And when you hit a minute, you're going to see the green card Jacob will hold up. You want to go to at least, you can go no more than 2 minutes, and you can bleed over a little bit to 2 minutes and 30 seconds. But when you see the red card, you'll want to be finishing. Okay? Susie, and Susie gets verbals.
Yeah, you have to say red, yellow, and green.
Yes.
Okay. Susie, are we ready?
Oh, yes, we're ready. I
Question,
hope.
Come on, Susie.
question
Okay.
for you, Susie. What is the one loss you took in your life that eventually turned out to be a win? What is the one loss you took in your life that eventually turned out to be a win?
The one what?
Loss.
A loss.
L-O-S.
I knew I wasn't getting it. One of my losses is hard of hearing, but I have to always ask when I don't understand. Loss turned into a win. I have 30 seconds to think about this. So I'm thinking for a moment. Greetings, Mr. Table Topics Master, Toastmasters, and honored guests. You might look at me and wonder, she's blind. How could that be a win? She can't see where she's going. It can be a win because I had to try harder to make things work. For example, I did not have a babysitting job as a teenager. I did not have any job as a teenager. I knew when I went to college, I had to study hard because I knew I would have to be at the top of people wanting to get a job. Therefore, I studied hard. I met very lucky people after college and got a good job. However, what if I could have seen and gotten a job during high school flipping burgers? Maybe I would not have gone to college. That would mean I wouldn't have had the good job I had. If I didn't have the good job I had, do you think my husband, as a person that I met at church, do you think he would have wanted to go out with me and support a blind woman that didn't have a job? I don't think so. It would have changed my entire life. Therefore, being blind did turn out to be a win for me. Mr. Table Topics Master.
Susie, thanks so much for sharing a perfect example of where you turned what could have been perceived to be lemon into some good old country time lemonade. Thanks for choosing to be a victor and not a victim, Susie. What an inspiration you are.
Thank you.
Who would like our second question of the evening?
You're going to ask me sooner or later, right?
We know that, Barb.
Yeah. Yes,
Okay, might
ma'am.
as well be sooner.
Oh, Barb. Boy, do I have a great question for
I
you.
know.
Okay, Barb. Are people capable of getting brainwashed? And why or why not do you think that's the case? And let me put you in spotlight so people can get the full picture here.
Would you
I'm
repeat the question, please? I didn't get it.
Are people capable of being brainwashed? And if so, why do you think so? And if not, why do you think not?
Ironically, this is part of the speech I'm doing at the division level. It's not exactly brainwashing, but it's how we have allowed certain behaviors to become acceptable. And we need to draw the line on those behaviors, because when you have younger people and all they hear is certain behaviors, how people speak to each other, how insults and put downs are acceptable. In fact, they're encouraged because it's entertaining and it's funny. And that is a form of brainwashing, because the behavior is not corrected. So they will continue to exhibit those behaviors and look at their role models and see the same thing. I don't consider it brainwashing completely as like a cult, but I sure think it's having an impact on the entire world and causing us damage. The only thing we can do is try to control our own areas, try to influence the people in our lives and those around us, and say, you know what, this isn't acceptable.
Hello.
It's time to stand up, and I expect you to treat me with respect, just as I'm going to treat you. And if we start to try and change the mindset, then if we're going to do brainwashing, who says we can't do brainwashing in a good way, not a bad way, Mr. Tabletop Master?
Barb, I absolutely loved your answer. And the thing that it serves for us is a reminder that it's always greater and bigger than just ourselves. Sometimes we may think, I don't want to be a role model, but sometimes you are, whether you want to be or not. So we have a responsibility there. Thank you, Barb, for that. Who's our next person that wants to take a question? And yes, feel free to jump right in, Gary and Aidan and Mitchell. Okay, not all three at the same time. Okay. Mary Susan, what about you? Are you willing to take
Hold
a
on, can you come back to me? I'm
I
Sorry, I think they,
I'm in the middle.
Jacob's will go. Jacob's coming.
Jacob's coming. Okay.
I got you. Okay.
Jacob, I'm going to give you an option because I like you so much. Do you want question 15 or question 21?
Oh, I love that one. Well, the way work has gone the last 48 hours, I think 21 because drinking's on the mind. So.
Okay, okay. How appropriate this question may be for you then. Jacob, what's the one thing you wished you learned sooner? What's the one thing you wished you learned sooner?
Mr. Table Topics Master, the one thing as I reminisce on the past 47 years of life that I wish I had learned sooner is the ability to be able to read individuals and be able to tell when they truly have your best interest at heart versus wanting whatever their agenda is. Time and time again, experiencing not only for myself, but seeing others experience situations that they're just getting played or taken advantage of. So as I reminisce on the past of what I would have appreciated learning sooner is how to better read or understand situations and individuals. Mr. Table Topic Master.
Jacob, that makes us heroes and sheroes in the making, discernment. I would love to hear a speech at some point about one of those experiences for you. Sherry, since you're up,
How did you know I was going to come here?
I am just, Sherry, you know we got it going on like this. Come on now. You mentioned something earlier, and I want to piggyback off of it a little bit, Sherry. You mentioned stress and fears, and my question is to you is, why do you think people have fears, Sherry? Why do you think people have fears?
Madam Table Topic Master and guest. Fears. We have an acronym for that. I was actually going to say what it was. What is it?
False.
False
Evidence appearing real.
That's what I was going to say. False evidence appearing real. That's why we have fear. Fear is always the unknown. We don't know what's going to happen. So if you jump into the water, that scares people, especially if you grew up in Alaska like me. Now jumping in the snow, no big deal. But as soon as you jump in the water, what's going to happen? My son actually just gave a sermon, and we just listened to his sermon. And he was talking about, because he grew up in Kansas, so he's not near the ocean. And he's talking about the ocean. You trust the ocean. You don't realize until one of those waves comes straight at you, and you realize that you lost control of the situation. Well, I think I put him in way too much swimming lessons because he thought the ocean was fine until he got hit by that wave. I know he's 36 years old giving this sermon, and he's in Maryland, so his mom couldn't tell him. But his mom's going to tell him that you should be fearful of the ocean more. But I guess he learned. But no, sometimes we be fearful of things just because we have not done them. So that is all about false evidence appearing real. Because most generally, the things we're fear of, I've never died giving a speech, yet I was terrified when I gave my very first speech. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Mr.
Awesome.
Tabletop.
It's okay, Sherry. I'm with you. I'm gotcha. I got you. Sherry, that is so true. Usually things aren't as bad as we have been made to believe they are. When we do overcome them, it makes us stronger, better, and wiser. And so thank you so much for that. I am going to reach out on a limb and I'm going to ask Mitchell if he would be willing to answer a question.
Wow, they're putting you right on the spot.
Oh, they are.
Sure thing.
All right.
He got up.
The guests are gonna get away with not speaking.
See,
Thank you.
Mitchell, I'm going to make this one real easy for you since you volunteered and got up so quickly. Mitchell, what's your favorite all-time movie of all times? Your favorite movie of all times and why? And I can see you scrolling through the list as I look at you.
Yeah, I've been asked that question many times before, and I can never think of a answer that feels adequate. But my mind always defaults to a movie my brother and I would watch during road trips in the back of our car on those little TV screens our parents would strap to the back of the headrests. And we had one movie on DVD that we would always enjoy watching. It would keep us entertained during these long road trips called Blades of Glory. And we started watching that movie when I was 10 and he was 8, and we kept watching it for several years. Some might question exposing young kids to that movie, but my brother and I loved it. And so regardless of how classy or unclassy or adequate or inadequate that answer is, I'd have to say the memories I share with my brother laughing about that movie through the years on those long road trips would cause Blades of Glory to be my favorite movie. Thank you, Mr. Table Topics.
Very nice.
Mitchell, I'm first of all impressed that you were able to get Mr. Table Topics Master out. So let me say that first. I saw you reminiscing down memory lane. I could see you guys in the car in the room, and you probably know the movie word for word by now. You probably know exactly what they're gonna say, and so what a bonding time that sounds like it was for you and your brother. Thank you so much for answering. Gary, you have the option of saying no, but do you want to give it a shot?
You didn't give Mitchell that option.
Well, I could tell Mitch. I'm a little closer to
Gary.
I can.
doesn't want to go with the car ride home if he doesn't speak.
Uh-oh.
I know if I didn't get up, I'd hear about it all.
Okay, Gary. This is one you're going to be familiar with. So, Gary, tell me what's your take on the quote, never judge a book by its cover? Tell me your take on the quote, never judge a book by its cover.
Well, that's an interesting question. And my first response and impression to answering that question would be it would be very easy to use people as an example. A lot of times we see someone and we have no idea what's going on in their life. Maybe at the grocery store, somebody's grumpy and cuts you off and is rude, we don't know what happened before we had an interaction with that person. And I think life is like that in general. We tend to judge someone before we really know them or know their past. And I know I'm guilty of that. And when I first met Sherry, I didn't know she was that nice. I'm trying to get out of this.
You know, you spoke your minute.
Did I speak my minute?
Yeah.
But anyway,
You still have another minute.
Okay.
Oh, well, I'm sure. So.
So I think you most likely understand where I'm going with that. It's just it's so easy to get caught up in prejudging anything, whether it's a person or a job or a task at hand, and when in fact, be patient and for the real answer or for the issue at hand as it is, instead of making that false impression to begin with. Yeah. And back to you, Mr. Tabletop.
Mouse.
Tabletop master.
Doing good.
Hey, Gary, I'm not offended at all. I've been called worse, I promise. Gary, I want to say that what your response did was made me very hungry to hear your first speech, your icebreaker, because what you said is so true from the standpoint of it's so easy to be limited by our understanding and our culture and some of those things. But if we just open ourselves up and really give people a chance, we really learn to value the differences and focus on the things we agree on. So thank you so much for such an amazing speech. All right, Aiden, I'm going on 3 for 3 on our guests. Are you up for it, Aiden?
After seeing Gary and Mitchell do it, I'll give it a shot. I'll give it my best.
You'll give it your best? Okay. Okay. You don't have to, but if you choose to, you can turn your video on.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And so let me spotlight you. We want
Uh-oh.
the whole world to see you now. Don't let that
Hello.
don't let that intimidate you. Hello, hello.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello.
Gary,
Hello there.
Aiden, I'm gonna give you. I know people like options, so I'm gonna give you options. I'm gonna give you option number 70 or 40.
Ooh, that's a range. Let's go
Yeah.
40.
Which one?
40.
40. Okay. Aiden, this looks like it's going to be right up your alley. Aiden, what's the biggest difference between victor and victim mentality? What's the biggest difference between victor and victim mentality?
Absolutely. I do like that question, Mr. Table Topic Master.
Ooh.
Wow.
I wrote it down. I'll be honest. I think that when I think of versus victim, I think that anyone can fall victim to circumstances at some point in time. I think the biggest difference is whether they choose to let themselves remain a victim or take responsibility of their situation. And I think victors will find a way to get the best out of any situation. I believe that no matter what may happen to us, whether good, bad, ugly, we are responsible for reacting to those things, though they may often be out of our control. I think a victor will find a way to grow and learn from any scenario thrown their way. And I feel like in my life I often have used excuses and sort of unknowingly fallen into that sort of victim mentality, and I am doing my best to surround myself with victors and learn to be one myself. Because I want to win, and I'm sure you all feel the same. Thank you, Mr. Tabletop Master.
Wow. Wow. Not only did you get the Mr. Table Topics Master right, he had an amazing response. I don't know if you noticed, but there's kind of a thread. Like, for instance, Sherry earlier said, it's okay to be stressed, you just don't stay there. That's pretty much what Aiden said. And Aiden, I think we all can say that we've done a lot of excuses, and I might even be the excuse master, but hey, we're here today, and that's all we got. We're going to make the best of it. Thank you so much. And do I have time for one more, or do I need to be through, David?
You're done. You're done, Andre.
I'm done. All right, I'm done. Yay, I'm done.
You're well cooked.
And so thank you
You're
all so
well
much for
cooked.
your responses. Austin, I'm going to turn it over to you, and I'll have you to get the timers report for us, please.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Andre. At this time, I'm going to ask Jacob for the timers report for all of the speakers.
Mr. Toastmaster, this evening, we have been reminiscing on all of the questions we have. Susie, 2 minutes and 14 seconds. Miss Barb, right on the bullseye, 2 minutes. Myself, 54 seconds. Sherry, 1 minute and 50. Good job staying under the 2 minutes. Mitch, fantastic job, Mitchell, 56 seconds.
Very nice.
Gary, 2 minutes and 26 seconds. And Aiden, 1 minute and 32 seconds. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Jacob. Now it is time to turn it over to the general evaluator, which is Barb for this evening. Barb, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. We're going to start off with the evaluation of our speaker tonight. And Susie, if you will go to the lectern and give your evaluation of Sherry Berger's speech. Miss Susie.
Greetings, fellow Toastmasters and honored guests, and especially you, Sherry. Now, I just want to know when I could have volunteered you to do a speech when it would not add to your stress. I don't know when that could have been.
Uh-oh.
I saw Sherry at a Christmas party almost 2 years ago. Oh my gosh, 1.5 years ago. And she was going through a divorce. It was awful. 30 years. Yes, she has had experience. She knows about stress. I didn't ever think in one sitting how many stresses I could have. My goodness. It was like a fire hose. All these stresses. I think you are a victor, not a victim. When evaluating your speech, I would like you to talk a little more slowly. I did feel kind of, but that's what the speech was about, stress. And she is very familiar with the subject. The PowerPoints were a big help. I would have liked to have had you tell us at the beginning, you were going to tell us about all the different stressors, good and bad, and then spend a little more time on ways to combat this terrible situation we are all in. You have a very good idea on how to live through and become a victim, not a victim. You were left a victim, yes, after 30 years, but you're not a victim anymore. I would be happy to see you do a second speech and go through all the ways to combat stress in our lives, because we all have it.
Great.
You have just opened up such a way of understanding ourselves, and we want to hear more from you. Thank you very much for your speech.
Thank you, Susie. And now let's get some reports. Miss Sherry, can you please give us an awe counter report? Of course, I want you to give your report before I give my general evaluation.
She didn't have any ahs in her speech, by the way. I counted.
Susie had 2 ahs. David had 2 ahs. And I should have caught more, but I got so involved in listening to speakers that I think I missed other people's ahs.
Well, the good news about that is we were interesting enough to keep your mind engaged. If it had been really apparent, you would have noticed. So good job, everyone. May we also have a word master report?
Yes.
David.
Stand up.
Madam General Evaluator, I counted not a whole lot of the word of the day. Jacob had about 3. Andre stuck some in there, but the other people that actually spoke, we only had 3 other speakers, and I didn't hear anybody else. So I'm really a little disappointed, but I kind of taking a cue out from Sherry that I was very intent on what was going on and trying to learn a few things, which I even wrote down some. So I may have missed some reminiscent views that some people put forth. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Excellent. Thank you, David. Now, some notes on our meeting. First of all, may I have a timers report first for the evaluation?
Timers report. So, Madam Evaluator, Susie did 3 minutes and 15 seconds. And then do we need the word master or the other stuff? Okay. So 3 minutes and 15 seconds.
Perfect. Okay, let's talk about the meeting. First of all, Toastmaster Austin. You managed the meeting, and that's what you're supposed to do. You had a theme, but you didn't spend half the meeting talking about the theme. You gave everybody else the chance to talk. I couldn't commend you more for that. That was beautiful. And you prepared, in spite of us juggling things around on you, you still went with it. You also had an introduction for Sherry. So well done. You knew what you were doing. You showed, and the meeting showed smoothness as a result of that. So thank you for that demonstration. For a timer, let me tell you, I can see those folders much better. Might not taste as good as mustard, relish, and ketchup, but I can see them much better. Mr. Andre, our table topic master. I like how you set up the session, letting our guests know we would demonstrate first and then give them an explanation and give them the chance to participate. And I found that their questions were a little easier than some of the experienced ones, and that's how it should be. But you gave everyone the opportunity to speak, and that's what a good table topic master should do. And I also like that, okay, so you didn't call for the timers report, but you say, I'm turning it back over to you, Austin, and you can call for the timers report. We don't care who calls for it, just as long as it's managed. And you did. Sherry, I'm glad when you can't find a lot of them, because that means we've had a good meeting that took your focus off. So that doesn't mean you have to get any better at it either. Okay. David, here's a suggestion for you. A couple of things. First of all, never worry about if people don't use your word a lot, because it's up to us. The challenge is to us. You don't have to pick a better word. That was a good word. In fact, it's in my note of what I wrote for Susie. But if we don't use it, that's on us. My one suggestion is, you gave your report, but I can't see you online because you're off camera. So in that case, you'd go to the front of the room so you can address everybody online as well. Miss Susie, in your evaluation, you know what I like the best about this? You forgot your note taker. And you said, I forgot my note taker. That's okay. I'll give you my feedback. It didn't throw you for a bit. And I like that you were able to reminisce and demonstrate your understanding of Sherry's speech. You understood the spirit of the speech as well. And you also folded Aiden's table topic into your evaluation. So I thought that was cool. Now some general points to it. First of all, the advantage to having all the roles filled the day before the meeting starts is to provide our Toastmaster with every opportunity for success. Then there won't be the jumbling at the beginning, and it can just be smooth going. I mean, it gave Austin a chance to demonstrate, awesomeness, but he'd rather just have everything ready. And when you're not, this is more for our guests, when you're not sure of the protocol, okay, finished, is it Mr. Table Topic Master, is it whatever, you can just say Mr. Toastmaster, or worst case scenario, you can say Andre. All of us are Toastmasters first, no matter what roles we have. So you can say back to you, Mr. Toastmaster, or Madam Toastmaster, whatever. It's that simple. And if you don't remember those, you can say, hey, Andre, it's up to you now. Okay, so now I'm going to do something I've never done before, and I'm going to give an interactive suggestion. And I'd like Sherry and Austin to stand, and Sherry, go to the lectern, please. Okay. Sherry, you finished speaking. And turning it over to Austin. So turn to Austin as Austin can stay there. And Austin, as you come forward, shake hands.
That's how we do it.
And then Sherry can leave. And that goes for all roles. You stay at the lectern and provide the transition. Okay. And if you think about it mentally, if there's nobody there, even if somebody's coming, what if they change their mind and the audience just doesn't know where to focus? Okay, so that's the lesson for today. Much smoother meeting. Thank you. And I'm turning this back over to our Toastmaster, as he comes to the front.
It's my
Mr. Austin.
Thank you, Barb. Thank you so much for the report. I did not have any other business to discuss. Did anyone have anything else to discuss before we go over roles?
I'd like to hear from our guests to know a little bit about them and if they have been to Toast. I can't talk and you talk at the same time, Sherry. And if they've been to Toastmasters before, we know Gary has because he came last meeting. I'd like to hear from Mitchell and Aiden. And Gary, I'd like to know your ideas on how this meeting was.
And if you would like to give feedback, we can start doing the podium here so I can stand. So if you want to kick us off, you can come up here and
Or you can.
we can't go
But
back
then
up.
Austin is going to have to stand at the lectern. By the way, all of you that are new, it is a lectern, not a podium.
Sorry.
My name is Mitchell. Appreciate each of you welcoming me in my lateness this evening. I participated in Toastmasters. Well, I don't believe it was called Toastmasters. It was the kids' version of Toastmasters when I was younger in middle school. Gavel Club, I believe.
Really?
Nice.
That's wonderful.
Yes, and I had some speaking experiences through other roles and clubs I was a part of through my youth. But besides that, I've never been a formal member of a Toastmasters club.
Any feedback from participating tonight? Any suggestions or overall thoughts?
I felt very welcomed here. I appreciate the warm and friendly environment, the laughter. It was very easy as a guest to feel comfortable and at ease very quickly. So I appreciate that. I can't think of any other feedback I have at this time.
Okay.
Hey, I have a question for Mitchell. First of all, I'm gonna look up Blades of Glory and look at it since you've spoken.
Great movie. Great movie.
I think you'll enjoy it.
Mitchell, why are you considering getting involved with Toastmasters?
Yes, Andre, I am considering getting involved due to the enjoyable experiences I had during Gavel Club when I was younger. But my main reason for seeking involvement and coming tonight was due to me being new to the area and looking to find community, get plugged in, and just enjoy a Monday night, meeting new people and practicing beneficial skills.
Okay, where did you relocate from?
I relocated from Denver, Colorado.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Why?
yeah, why?
That's near the headquarters for Toastmasters.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
I just finished school out there and came out this way for a job.
All right.
So
Well, thank you so much.
You are working already.
Yes.
What is your job?
I work for a specialty contractor doing project management.
Oh no,
No kidding.
Oh, I think
not
you're
another
gonna
project
get right.
manager. No.
Club.
Project manager.
So is Mary Susan and Mark, who isn't here anymore, was also.
Wonderful.
Yes, you're
You'll
in the
fit right
right
in.
place.
Yes.
And
Glad to hear that.
throw me in the club also. Oh my
Yes,
goodness.
Andre as well.
Yes. All right. Well, Mitchell,
Good
thank
heavens, I have trouble managing myself. I don't know.
Let me say this to
He manages two people, so
Let me say this to the new people, because we do have we do hybrid meetings. We record the meetings, and I'll make sure each one of you all get a copy so you can be razzle dazzle about how well you spoke tonight. It's one thing for us to give you feedback. It's another thing for you to see yourself. And so look forward to that. Mitchell, I have your email address. Aiden, I have yours. And Gary and Sherry, I'll need yours also. Sherry, which one do you prefer? The business one, or you have a second one?
My personal one,
Okay,
Sherry Berger at att.net.
gotcha. Okay. And Gary,
And-
did you want to give me yours right quick?
Sure, it's KS Walk-in Bathtubs at gmail.com.
You can switch it up.
Bubs with an S on the end.
Thank you.
Yes, KS and then WALKINBATHTUBS at gmail.com.
Gotcha, Gary.
What
Thank
happened?
you.
We're having spelling now.
David has.
It's not on. Mine's off.
I think you need to leave, David.
Everybody's
It's coming
unmuted.
over there.
Okay. Did we want to go to Aiden next or to Gary?
Yes.
That on?
Gary, did you have any
Would you
feedback?
please mute your computer, David?
Yeah, but my speaker is showing off. Wait a minute. Hold on.
Did it turn, is it green? Okay.
We got her.
Oh, we're all good.
Well, I'm glad that didn't happen in the formal part of our meeting. Barb would have had to call us out on it.
Gary and you can't talk the same time, Susie.
Oh, okay.
Whoa. Touche.
Oh.
Hey, y'all, I've really enjoyed being here. Y'all.
I'm from
I've
Mississippi.
lived
I
in
love
Kansas
it.
all my life, but y'all just, so I'm fixing to,
Y'all and Vixen.
I know all the southern lingo. I really did enjoy being here. I got a lot out of tonight. For you that don't know me, one of my hobbies or things that I do that I enjoy most, music is a big part of my life. And I'm a country and southern gospel singer. I've traveled all over the country in Nashville and Branson and all these places in a duo. We have a CD we recorded in Branson. And the reason I brought this up is music comes very easy to me. I'm a bass singer. When I'm up on stage singing to an audience, typically in a church, I'm in my happy place. That's what I love to do, and it comes easy. However, speaking is something that I'm not as comfortable with, and I think this is really good practice for me. And I've known Sherry now approximately 4 months, and she's involved in many different organizations like this, and she's been talking this group up for quite some time. And yes, we are dating, we're going together, and it's out there. Yeah, see, if that was mentioned earlier, so it's nothing new.
Nothing new.
So I am looking forward to more meetings. I'm looking forward to actually officially becoming a member. So thank you.
Speaking to Austin about that.
So thank you for accepting me tonight and making me feel very welcome. Really enjoyed the time here together.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you.
We enjoyed you, Gary. Austin, and did we want to give Aiden a chance?
Sounds good. I didn't know if I needed to stand up here the whole time. No, I'm just kidding. Aiden, did you have any overall feedback or would you like to elaborate just more of an introduction of yourself? We appreciate you being here.
Yeah, absolutely. Say, I'll shake your hand through the camera briefly.
Yes, there we go.
Mr. Toastmaster. I was a little nervous coming in. I think it really helped that we started off with a speech about stress. That was a bit of what I was feeling coming into it, ironically. So that was very fitting. Um, yeah, I didn't really know what to expect coming in. I wanted to come in to develop my speech, learn to communicate better, more fluently. And as Gary and Mitchell both kind of mentioned, felt very welcomed. And I look forward to becoming a member and hopefully attending the next one in person.
Great.
Oh, that'd be wonderful.
Another part of my personality is I do a bit of graphic design. I don't know if you guys can see this, but I made a little podium for myself since I'm not there at the moment.
Lectern, Aiden, lectern.
Lectern!
Yeah,
You just said it. Thank you. Yeah.
I don't want Susie getting on you now.
No, you're so right. Just said it too. So thank you all. I look forward to being present more.
Perfect. Thank you, Aiden.
Hey, Austin, can I say something?
Yes, sir.
In conclusion, I'll start with in conclusion.
There you go.
Yeah, right.
The thing I love about these three guests in particular is, first of all, I think you all are a lot better and further along than you think.
Yes.
But I love the fact that I think you guys are going to push the group to get to their next level, because I can tell you all are all amazing speakers. Gary, especially Gary, but all of you all, you really speak from your heart, which has such an impact. And I love the fact that you're going to bring new ideas. You'll see things that we don't see just because you are new. And so don't ever think that your contributions don't have great value. Okay. And again, I'll be sending each one of you all a copy of the recording so that you can look at yourself. And it's okay to toot your own horn every now and then. You just want to say toot toot, or reach up and pat your own stuff on the back. So amazing. You guys have got me excited just to be around you guys. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Andre. At this time, I will turn it over to Susie to close out the meeting.
We need to determine who's going to do what at our next meeting first.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you want to close it out first, but that's
No, that's part of our meeting.
Okay.
Determining what we're doing.
Mary's.
Closing out the meeting. And brings in the VPE.
Okay, I apologize.
You want to have we're about 6 minutes ahead of schedule, so if you want to say some closing remarks.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you all to the guests who joined. Like Andre said, I was intimidated even coming back up here after you guys spoke. You guys killed it, knocked it out of the park. So hopefully we'll get to see you guys recurring, and you've been great members. So our next meeting is Monday,
28th.
Memorial Day.
28th of April. April.
Or I'm so sorry.
Yes, I know.
April 28th. My dates mixed up. But yes, this is what we're going to be going over. At this portion, I will turn this over to Mary Susan as the Vice President of Education to get our roll signed up for the next meeting.
Mary Susan, these new guys got me so fired up, put me down as the Toastmaster.
Hey.
Hey, thank you.
As a formality, should Mary Susan go up to the lectern?
No, because then they can't see me with my computers.
We're going to give her a pass.
Okay.
Okay.
Turn your camera on.
Well, you're not on camera. You guys are not on camera over there.
Mary Susan, she's on that camera.
Okay, so Andre is going to be Toastmaster. Who else wants to sign up for a role at this point?
I'll sign up as a speaker.
A speaker?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, give me a second. Okay, Susie, you want to be speaker?
Yes.
Do speaker, I'll do word master as well.
Okay,
What were you saying, Jacob?
Do you want?
so you're doing speaker and word master. You know,
Correct.
does any,
That we have to work the word in.
Oh.
okay, or we could let somebody else do word master, but. Well, wait, word master's gonna be combined with those three.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah, we'll have
So
to discuss.
just stick with,
Well, if I, yeah, I'm gonna do. I get working on my level too.
okay, well, you're gonna do speaker.
Okay,
So,
all right, I'll do speaker.
all right. Anybody else?
Time.
Timer?
And, yeah, I'll start with that right now. We'll see what's left over.
Okay,
I won't
Anybody
be
else?
attending. I'll be out of town.
okay.
I'll be table topics.
Yay. You always make me think. Drives me crazy.
Okay. Anybody else at this point?
Yeah, I'll evaluate.
We'll do what,
evaluator
who do you want
number
to
two.
evaluate?
I'll be evaluator number 2.
Number 2?
You bet.
All right. Anybody else?
And I can be an evaluator for the other speaker later on, but we can leave it open for now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Who's gonna do word master, you know, the trifecta?
We need to discuss if we're gonna combine those roles. I think there's some pushback, so we'll have to talk about that.
All right.
If we have enough people, I like to have them separated.
Yeah.
But that's if it gives more opportunity for people to participate.
Agreed.
We don't seem to have a whole lot.
Well, if we get.
They work, yeah.
For Mary.
Hey, do you know that you passed grammarian, Barb?
What's
We
that?
had a grammarian.
We had a grammarian and nobody called grammarian report.
Oh, my apologies. Let's have a grammarian's report.
Well, I will step aside when he comes up to the lectern.
Who's the grammarian? Jacob.
Why is it long? And you're supposed to shake hands too.
Yes.
I've been in Toastmasters a long time.
Okay. Yes.
As the grammarian this evening, my only main note that I picked up on was the fact that Miss Sherry kept saying ma'am instead of sir when she was passing. So.
And I told you,
Well, I
I'm
have a
so
question.
glad that I called him up.
Well, aren't you glad? Yes, and I knew you would be. Now, I have a question. Did you say learned or learned? I might have misunderstood.
I probably said it wrong.
Well, I thought I heard learned, but
I don't know, my evaluator would have brought that up, but I
Well-
didn't hear my evaluator
well,
say
I was-
anything about it.
don't know if I heard it correctly.
Well, my
or not.
evaluator didn't take notes.
Oh. Yeah,
We've only been friends for 2 minutes.
yeah, you know, we never talk. We never talk on the phone. No, never text back and forth. Yes. Well, I'm so happy to have our guests this evening. The person you should see if you would like to be a postmaster in this club is Mr. Austin over here. He is the treasurer. It takes $20 to join if you've never been in Toastmasters before. And then it takes, we're at the beginning of the year, so $51.
$60 for 6 months, so
Okay.
$10 a month.
Hey, Susie,
Yes,
Susie,
yes, sir. I'm hearing, Andre's trying to say something.
Sorry,
yeah,
go ahead.
just a small correction. I'm the one they'd actually reach out to. I've got all of their email
Oh.
addresses.
Okay,
as the
okay,
VP of membership, so I'll follow up with them and
okay.
get them some information and
I'd be very happy for you to do that.
absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, wonderful. And thank you for doing that. Is
Awesome.
one more business thing we have. When did you say training is, Barb? And would you talk a minute about the uh, uh, conference? I always call them conventions in the National Federation of the Blind. It's very hard for me to say conference.
Yeah, it's conference is coming up May 9th and 10th. Let me just double check the
Oh, she put it
business meeting. You'll get information on that. It can be attended online. And there are 2 votes per club, the president and the vice president of education. Okay, because there's an online component, there are no proxies. But you vote on, and there's an important vote in this one. It's not just next year's executive, it is the alignment. Okay.
So we have an alignment every year?
Yes, because we lost 280 memberships. So we're going down to 3 divisions.
In the district?
Yep.
We lost how many
280.
Wow.
members?
Yeah, membership. So it could be people that belong to 3 clubs and they went down to 2 clubs. That's 1 membership lost, as well as people just not renewing. Now, some of them will come back because some people were just late renewing. But it means realigning the divisions and the areas. So it's an important vote to come forth. You will get all of the documents ahead of time that you can read through. And I think the business meeting might only be an hour. It's pretty straightforward, and you will get the information on that. Then the conference is the Friday night. There's going to be an in-person fun component that will be held in Topeka.
Now, when is the conference?
Saturday. What was that?
What dates are the conference?
The 9th and 10th. So the business meeting must be on the 9th, and then Saturday the 10th. And the information was in the newsletter that went out on the district. I will forward it on. Okay, and then you can register. I think it's $80, but that includes your meals as well. And 2 contests. The international director is the guest speaker and doing an educational. Okay, from Toastmasters International.
You mean the whole director of international?
Not the president, but the international director for the region. So above the regional advisor is the international director.
Okay, thank you.
Is it the one that's?
I knew I misunderstood that.
Is it the one from this district?
Now, is in person in Topeka?
Yes.
Or online.
But what part of it is online?
The business meeting.
And
can
that's
be
it?
Online or in person.
I know I cannot go Friday night because I have my National Federation of the Blind meeting. But I could be there on Saturday if I had a ride.
And the contests, 2 contests will be on Saturday. The table topics and the international speech.
What's the name of the international director that's speaking?
I will look it up and send it out because I forget what her name is.
So it's not the one. It's not the one from here.
No, it's not our member, but she serves our area, I believe. Well, international directors are all.
I'm slipping her name. What's the one that's from here? She was your mentor, Sherry. What's the gal's name?
Oh, yeah. She was in.
what's the other person's name?
Who was your
Sorry.
mentor, your first mentor?
What, Kim Myers?
Yeah, Kim
Kim Myers.
Myers. That's
No,
the name
it's
you
not
can't
Kim.
think of.
Mhm.
And she's speaking?
No,
No.
I'll send out
Okay.
the
Okay,
information.
okay, Mr. Sergeant at Arms, we're over time.
Okay. Okay. Well, one more question. Can you go online on Saturday?
No, I don't believe so. I will find out for sure, but it's because all the speech contests have to be in person, including
And I like
official judges.
I like that. I like that. Okay. I understand. But I will make myself available. When is the hour of the meeting online?
I will look it up and send it out to you,
Thank you.
so you've
Okay.
got it.
Okay, I'm not as well informed as I wish I was. Thank you. I've had a little stress in my life, a little going on. Yes, okay. Is there any other thing we need to cover this evening? Then I will declare this meeting adjourned. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you. Thanks, Ada.